Okay, guys, let's do it. Welcome. It's a fresh week, and we're going to be talking about something that's I don't know, maybe exciting for a small handful of people, but probably depressing for the rest of them. Good start to the week already, right? Which is going to be the least affordable housing market in the U.S. currently. Now, we are joined by an absolute useless sack of shit dog today, who last week insisted on rolling in a lot of shit, actual literal shit. So it's been an eventful week for us and our relationship, but we're getting through it, you know?
It's on his dog collar. He rolled in so much cow shit, it's everywhere.
Oh, that is ridiculous.
Dude, he is covered in cow shit. Nope, go. Get out of here.
Well, I'm gonna have to bathe you now. You're covered
in dog shit. Dude, it's on his shoulders?
It's under his collar.
Dude, he doesn't give a fuck.
You asshole. What a dick. What a dick. You're covered in cow shit. So let's talk about it. What is the least affordable housing market in the U.S. and what makes it the least affordable? That would be Boise, Idaho. Oh man, it's even in my region of the country. So I'm in Salt Lake. For those of you that don't know, Boise's a nice little 5-hour drive. And Boise is currently the least affordable housing market in the U.S. So the biggest problem and sort of the reason that it's getting labeled that is because the price of houses is skyrocketing way past what people's incomes are, doing to keep up with that price of inflation, if we just call it what it is, right? So prices went up 30% in a year. I mean, that's just absolutely insane, right? Because you go, okay, on a $100,000 house, that's 30 grand. On a $300,000 house, that's 90 grand. On a $500,000 house, that's what, 150? I mean, like, it's just insane. So, I mean, if you own a house in Boise right now, you're probably pretty thrilled-ish about this because you're like, I've done nothing, my mortgage payment hasn't changed, and I'm $100,000 richer. So it might be exciting for you, but 30% is absolutely insane. Homes going for up to $100,000 over the asking price, with a lot of all-cash offers. There's of course for me, it's tough, guys. As someone who represents mostly buyers and a lot of people who are first-time buyers, emphasis on military clientele, general outdoorsmen, shooters, hunters, law enforcement officers, things like that. It's tough, man. I'm really not a giant fan of what's going on as a homeowner. I am as a human being who represents other human beings who are like working class people. It's tough. I mean, it really is tough. So the median home price in Boise right now, $535,000, which is 10x above the median income. So the median income is $53,000, give or take a couple bucks, and the median home price is $535,000. So, I mean, that's tough. That's tough, man. If you're making, look, if you're making 50 grand a year, I mean, I don't really see the scenario where you're going to be buying north of a $500,000 house. And the thing is, you got to keep in mind, if we're saying $535,000 is the median home price, well, are they going for over that? I don't have that level of clarity on that market, but like, hey, are we talking 535 is the median price and it might be going for 50 grand and all cash over that? Yeah, new buyers can't compete with that. Like normal working class people cannot compete with that, and it's a bummer. Obviously, a big influx is coming from California and the West Coast. Just so you guys understand the dynamic a little bit, just based on what I see, right, as someone who has communication with a lot of different real estate markets, a lot of the West Coast, Washington, Oregon, California, they are largely moving to the Idahos, the Utahs, Arizona, some Colorado. Like, that's the bubble where a lot of them are moving. Some Montana, a little bit, definitely less in Wyoming. But and then if you go over to the East Coast, right, and you take the New Yorks, the Chicagos, Jerseys, Boston, places like that, a lot of them are going to like Tennessee and Florida. So there's a big influx that's happening in Tennessee for sure. We get hit up at a decent pace for Tennessee real estate requests, and then a lot of it's going down to Florida. Florida, obviously, tons of tax advantages. So that's part of it, is just people going to a more tax-friendly state, obviously more conservative state, which just generally speaking comes a little bit better terms on regulation, tax advantages, things like that. So it is a little bit nuts. I mean, Boise, a lot of first-time home buyers, you're simply getting priced out of that equation, and I would be in the same boat if I were you a few years ago. So bummer, it's like, it's exciting, but it's a bummer as well. Like 30% increases in a year, that is not something that I root for. I do not see that leading us to some sort of crash. Again, as stated, I believe about a week ago, I don't really see that on our horizon, because it doesn't sound like there's about to be any giant shakeup with interest rates, and then it's simple supply and demand. Very high demand, propped up by low interest rates, very low inventory because builders simply cannot keep up, and obviously supply chain issues and all that kind of stuff. So I don't really see it changing. There's just not a lot indicating that it's going to change to me, but I'm also very much not rooting for home prices to continue climbing at that rate, because it's just, it's tough. And I would be the first to tell someone that, look, if you're in a home and, people go, man, I'm debating selling right now because it's just such a good time to sell. Yes, it is. Here's the question. Where the hell are you going to go? Where the hell are you going to go, right? So if you cash out your house and got 200 grand in equity that accumulated over the past 3 years, it's like, that's awesome. Problem is, you're going to have to go throw that 200 grand into getting a new house that essentially is going to quality-wise be pretty much like your old house, unless you really want your payment to increase. So it's complicated. It's a lot of different things. I've got very mixed emotions about it, but Boise is the least affordable housing market in the U.S. right now. That's your nugget for the day there. Quick bourbon tip for any of you currently watching. So this was a find. I'm excited about this one. So this is High West High Country. High West is a one of the few, at the very least, distilleries in the state of Utah, and they do some. I'm not a giant fan of their regular stuff, but they did this. This came out last Friday. I drove to Park City on Saturday morning and picked up a couple bottles of this. This is the High Country. This is going to be really tough to get. So if you see this at your local stores, which you're probably not, I would recommend picking up a bottle. Super limited release right now, just in Utah. I do think it will hit in some of the other states and cities across the country, but keep your eye out for High Country. I've got a couple bottles. Haven't cracked one yet. I'm just working my way through a couple other things, but I am excited to try it. Hope it's good. It's a single malt, so I'm a malt guy. I'm a malt guy, for those of you looking to get me Christmas gifts. Anyway, that said, hope you guys are doing well. If you need real estate help, let us know. If you need advice on your dogs, also let us know. But beyond that, yeah, we operate in a lot of different places. Utah is kind of home base, but we also work across the country, help people out with their real estate needs. I hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're having a nice week, and we will see you soon.